Hello and welcome back to the Lee Summit Town Hall Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Parker. Now's a great time to remind you that this podcast is brought to you by Budget Blinds of Lee Summit. It's a great local family run by a great local business. They're your home for signature series shades. It's not just window treatments there. It's everything. It's all the decor stuff. I like to say this. My wife and I even have a throw pillow on the couch that we got to design right there in the shop. They put it together, so that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if they still do that service or not, but I'm going to put it out there. They should. It's a lot of fun. They also have all that smart stuff, so if you want to control your shades with your phone, your smart speaker, whatever, you can do that. We love the robot shade overlords. When you're ready to make your home a smart home, go see our friends at Budget Blinds of Lee Summit. Tell them Nick sent you. All right, last week was fun. Well, not really fun. It was a harder topic. We were talking to Heather and Kirsty from Rediscover about National Suicide Prevention Month. We're going to go a little lighter topic this time. Our special guest is Seth Moses, the branch manager at the Colburn Road Library for Mid-Continent Public Library System. Seth, welcome.
Thanks.
I'm stumbling over words today.
I'll try to bring the joy.
Well, it's at least a little lighter,
yeah.
a little more fun. This is a couple of things. I always like to look at the national whatever of the month is. So this is National Read a New Book Month. It's also National Sign Up for Your Library Card Month.
It is.
Here's a question for you. Mm-hmm. How many people actually have their library? Like, is there a way to know? So we have what? 100-some thousand people in our city. Is there a way to know like percentage of people that have library cards?
So it's been a while since I looked at our data, but we have really good market penetration. So I think about half the households in this area do have an active library card. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty good number.
That's pretty cool. And we have seen, here's the other fun part. We're going to start with this. Over the last 5-6 years, we have seen 2 libraries totally redone in our city, and then the construction development of a new library on the east side, the East Branch, over by Lee Summit Medical Center. Our libraries are kind of awesome.
We're doing great.
And it's more than just books, right? Like, I think, we grew up, library's just the place for books, but these are now community centers.
Yeah. In the last 5 years, we've added passport acceptance services as well as notary services. So we're doing all kinds of different things.
What's kind of been that shift though from just the shelves, right? The bookshelves to they really are our community centers. There's meeting rooms, there's places to co-work. If you're tired of working from home or you're traveling, you can go to the library and you can work there. You can have meetings. You told me, and we're going to talk about this a little later, but you told me there are even people having game nights.
Yeah. So kind of at our core, we're all about knowledge and information, right? And that comes in different formats. And sometimes it's books, sometimes it's other things, sometimes knowledge and information is created right in your community among community members. So, yeah.
What do you see people using the facilities most for, other than obviously I'm going to check out a book or a movie or audio or?
Yeah, a lot of our day-to-day is people using our space. So they're there working on it could be students working on school projects. It could be people in the community that are running like their business or doing remote work from inside our spaces. That's a big chunk of what we do. And then, of course, we're still checking out books and materials. We're still helping people with access to the internet and printing and those sorts of things as well.
And your branch, you even have a coffee shop, which I'm going to stay there even longer if you're going to ply me with access to caffeine. Again, I just think that I just really like that whole we're a community gathering space as well.
Yeah, it's we made some really intentional choices before we did our remodel renovation, and one of the things that we kind of determined was a growing community need at the time was the need for space. And so being able to add that in and then see the payoff of like we have new library users who who are strictly there for space has been a really great thing for me personally over the last few years.
I think too it's kind of cool because like I know especially our many non-local nonprofit organizations and other small business, like there has not been in the past a lot of meeting space for that. We're more than 4 or 5, but we're less than 150. Where can we go for a board meeting, for a team meeting or whatever? And now there's really a lot of that available.
Yeah. We've got everything from like smaller spaces for 1 or 2 people to larger community room space that, depending on your needs, can seat up to like 175 people. Or like, even if you just need, like, I need a spot for my board meeting of 12 people, like that's something we're typically able to do too.
I love that. Well, let's go back to the National Read a New Book Month, which I like. I will admit, most of my library book checkouts are electronic. They're through the Libby app. I love reading on my iPad. I hate it. I feel bad admitting that. Like, I'm an old newspaper guy, right? So I like print. I want to support it. But I love the access and that I can go on a vacation and take 7 books with me, and it doesn't weigh down a bag.
Yeah. Or you could be in the middle of vacation and find something new to check out while you're there too.
Right. Well, or like, what's the worst thing is you're on a vacation reading and you finish the book. Mm-hmm. What do I do now?
What am I going to do with all this time? No, yeah, all formats are equal in our mind. So it's like the growth of ebooks and more so like the downloadable audiobook format has been really great to see too.
I have trouble doing those.
Yeah, I do. Personally, I do too. But like, it's the fastest growing segment of book publishing, and we're seeing it in terms of our checkouts too.
I can't do other. Well, first off, audiobook is very dependent on it. It has to have a great narrator. But then the second thing is I can't do anything else, right? I have to be able to listen to the book, and so if I can't do it while I'm driving, because either I'm going to pay attention to the driving or I'm going to pay attention to the book, and I really should not forget about the driving part. My wife and I did that on vacation one time and missed exits and ended up somewhere in the middle of Oklahoma once.
That reminds me of my own experience with that too.
Let's ask the branch manager, what are you reading? What's on your shelf? What are the books that you're reading right now?
Oof. So, like, I have this really bad habit of starting and stopping reading things. But right now I'm kind of a science fiction nerd, so I've got some science fiction at home. I'm, reading, as a branch manager, I'm reading a lot of like, management and leadership books pretty much constantly too. I've got a sort of a love-hate relationship with that genre.
I can understand that. How are you at reading I can't really do that. I can't read multiple books. I'm a binge reader, right? So if I'm in it and it's a good story, I'm not going to do anything else until I finish that story.
Yeah. I seem to be able to move pretty easily between books. The drawback there is I don't always finish what I start reading. So I kind of lose track, and then I'm like, oh, it's due, and now it's overdue, and now I owe like 10 cents.
Since the theme of the month is grab a new book, what's your kind of process for searching? I have a hard time searching for new books. I love to read series. So I will plow through. If an author's got a series, I will plow through all of them before I do something else. But sometimes it's hard to break your brain out and go find something new. What's your process there?
Yeah. So we have a pretty interesting offering as a library system that's kind of designed to help with this. There's more published now than ever before, like every year, and finding something that fits what you're looking for is kind of tough. And at the Colburn Road branch, we do a quarterly event that we call Book Speed Dating. Luckily, you don't have to. You're not dating people. It's kind of designed. You're dating the books and making some decisions at the end if it's a book that you want to read. But we typically have like 5 tables set up with different librarians with sort of loosely organized around a theme. We're doing one in October that's going to be spooky horror related. And then you get to listen to library professionals talk for 10 minutes about 10 different books.
Huh.
And then you might leave with 40 or 50 titles that you want to check out.
Do you ever have people talk about whether they make better decisions dating books than they do dating people?
Ooh, no. Luckily, I haven't had to.
That's kind of a cool concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's usually a lot of fun. It's something we've been trying to grow over the last couple of years. It's very low stakes. Like if maybe book groups aren't your thing because you don't want to like talk at the discussion table, come to this. This is very low stakes.
I like that idea. How many people are coming out for these?
We typically have about a dozen or so people, but the capacity for it is definitely more than that. So we could probably have up to 40 or 50 at one of these things and still have an effective event and conversation around reading and stuff like that. We also usually provide coffee and free book giveaways too.
I would think that might be fun for the library employees as well to kind of come up with, okay, what books are we going to pull and then talk about. That kind of would make it fun too, I think.
Oh yeah, they love it so much. I've only ever been able to participate one time so far. So
they keep you out.
Yeah, they're like, no, don't. We've got this. You can go do our paperwork. Approve some time cards.
I also I like when I go to, I also like where it's kind of like staff picks and other things. It's almost like what the video rental stores used to have as well. I love seeing those. That's a great way to kind of look around and see, oh, maybe there's something new, or even I am a rereader. My wife and I will fight about this sometimes. We'll have our little arguments because once she reads a book, she's done. She will not go back to it. I have books that I will reread like every year, every couple of years, because I love the stories or the worlds, right? And I want to go back to it. I want to revisit. Are you a rereader?
I'm a definite rereader. Just over and over and over again. I have about 10 books that I have on repeat.
That's fair. That's fair. I have a friend who will, and I think this is an interesting reread because they're so long, the content is so much, but rereads Lord of the Rings every year, once a year. We'll go through all of that. And that's a lot.
You notice things that you don't normally maybe miss on your first couple of read-throughs. Yeah.
No, that's true. I just think that's just a lot. I mean, that could be a quarter of the year, just slogging through all of that.
maybe the movies. Maybe do the movies.
Maybe redo them. Maybe those aren't short either. Well, the other thing we started with was the go get your library card. I love that you said probably about half of the households in our community have library cards. Talk about what that gets for those maybe that don't have a library card. What are they getting access to by having that card?
Yeah, so you're going to get access to not only like our print collections of books and movies and music, physical copies of things, but you're going to get access to our digital collections through the Libby app. Which is a lot of material, and it
probably I think one of the best app finds of the last decade. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long it's been around, but I'm gonna say decade.
It's definitely gotten a lot easier to use in the last 10 years. That's for sure. So like the way this used to work, you'd have to plug a device into a computer and download things, and it's definitely become a much more seamless experience. So. It's and beyond that, we're always having some kind of event or a program for folks to come and either learn or interact with other people in their community. We've got just a ton of different services that we offer. I mentioned passports and notary, but we've also got things that you might not think that we do, that we do. We do voter registration. We do. We've got a drive-up window. Maybe you're really busy, and the only time you can get to us is on your commute home between maybe 5 and 7 p.m. Yeah, we've got people covered on that end too.
One of the ones I wanted, one of those services I wanted to dig in on a little bit, and it's my fault for not inviting her to join us. But the Square One Small Business Center is a really cool resource, and it's out of your branch. It's a really cool resource for small business owners, for entrepreneur community. We didn't invite Ashley. I'm sorry, Ashley. Maybe next time I'll have you back. But I think that's a really cool service that's available and resource, because when you do, if you are one of those that jumps off the cliff to start a new business, you don't know what you don't know until you're in it. And there are a lot of times, especially in that first year or two, when you just freeze up because there's something you want to do and you don't know how.
Yeah, absolutely. So like it can be lonely too, right? You can be out there kind of on your own thinking like, am I the only one going through this? And one thing that we've got coming up really soon on September 18th is what we call Entrepreneur Storytime. And we're hosting Luke Harbour to come in and kind of talk about his journey as an entrepreneur. We do this with different folks from time to time. So if you missed this one, there's probably another one on the calendar or coming up relatively soon. But Luke is a performer, producer, and an educator whose project Music by Skippy, he goes by Skippy, it creates kind of an art experience for multi-generational audiences, if that kind of makes sense. He does some beatboxing. He's got some other skills that he
Is beatboxing still a thing?
I think it is. I'm always impressed by it. I can't do that. But yeah, it's a good time. It's a short program. Again, it's low stakes, so you can come and listen to Luke talk for a bit about his journey and maybe feel a little inspiration or a little empowerment along the way.
For if there are listeners out there who are small business owners or thinking of taking that leap, right? How can where do they go when they walk in? How can they kind of get in touch with that resource and put it to use?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of options, just like everything else we do. You can come into the branch and talk to us. Ashley and her team, the Square One Small Business team, they're typically out in the community working with people, so you might not always catch them. And so kind of the best idea is schedule an appointment through our website, take a look at the resources that are immediately available to you there. We're happy to do all of this for you in the branch too if you come by. But yeah, that's a good starting point, and they can help you with so many different things. Everything from maybe you need to do a little market research. I mean, we are librarians; we're in the information business. They've got
your ears perk up if somebody says research.
A little bit, yeah. It's like, oh, what can we do there? But they can help with that. They can kind of help you if you're having maybe a knowledge gap with social media marketing. What should I be doing here? What shouldn't I be doing here? They've got specialists that can help with all those different things, and just a ton of classes and events too that are available to everyone in the community.
Let's take that research thing a little bit and go kind of a different direction, but I think it's a good one to bring up. Students or other people that need research and research help, I can walk right in.
Yeah, you can come right in. We're happy to sort of give you kind of a rundown of how to do a little bit of database or library research.
But I feel like that's a skill that, I mean, I always tell people, I'm like, look, the education that we get around here is fantastic. But when I got to college, I realized I really don't know how to study. That's a skill set. And I really don't, other than, nowadays just typing something into Google, I don't know how to research.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very specific skill set.
Yeah. And it's definitely gotten trickier over the last, immediately last several years. Like, what can I trust? What should I not trust? So it's definitely a skill that takes consistency to build.
Right.
So I encourage people all the time, call us, come see us, we're happy to help you get a sense of that landscape so that you're not maybe diving down the wrong path in terms of like, what information should I be looking for?
Right. Yeah, I think sometimes, you get the, what is it, paralysis by analysis, right? You open up and you see how much content is there. Mm-hmm. Where do I go?
Yeah.
How do I dive in?
What do I do with these 200 million Google results that I just...
Right. Well, and do I trust the top of the page? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, that's the tricky thing.
That's the tricky. Let's go back to some fun and talking about the content at the library a little bit. What are our most popular genres right now? What do you think?
Oh, it's always going to be romance and
really?
Mystery. Yeah. Romance is huge. We don't talk about it enough. I think people are kind of like, I think there might be a little stigma to it.
I'm not supposed to read those. Yeah, that kind of thing.
But like, there's nothing wrong with some romance.
Romance ain't dead, folks. Just ask your local librarian.
It's true. We're all about empowering people to read whatever they want to read, and that includes all sorts of genres. But typically, annually, the most popular things on our shelves are going to be the romance stories, the mysteries, the thrillers, those sorts of things.
And I remember one time long ago, and I want to know if I'm remembering this correctly, but I remember that particular genre, the romance, had more authors. Like the number of people that produced that content, it far outweighs every other genre.
Oh yeah, it's a big genre. Every year, we just got done doing this year actually. We do what we call Romance Genre Con. We have different romance authors come in. They do like workshops, or they talk about their process and what they're writing. It's very popular.
All right, what's after that? What do you think? What are the ones after that?
I think it's probably that, and then mystery or thriller, kind of suspenseful things, and then from there, I think it's kind of an even split between maybe science fiction and what we would call like literary fiction, maybe like general kind of things, and then nonfiction titles as well. So yeah, I think it kind of drops off a little bit from there, but like I think it's pretty even in terms of like the genres people like to read in.
I wondered if because of the last 5, 10, 20 years in the movie industry, right? We've seen lots of sci-fi, we've seen lots of superheroes. So I was wondering if and even we've got a couple of very popular board game stores and comic book stores in town, and so I wondered if with the rise of nerddom.
Oh yeah.
If we're seeing more of the science fiction and more of the fantasy type things, if that crowd is building.
I think so. If nothing else, the awareness and the enjoyment of it is building, which as kind of a science fiction fan, I like to see a lot. And we've kind of tried to lean into that a little bit too. Like it's not unusual to see us do like game nights. Board game nights. We do sort of a Dungeons and Dragons night, both for teen audiences and kids and families as well. We've been getting a lot of engagement around that too. It's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. I knew nothing about D&D prior to like the last year.
And are you an expert now?
Oh no, no, not at all.
How did that kind of begin? Is that just people saw the space available and they started coming in, or?
Yeah, I think, and I mean, like, I don't know if I have any like way to defend this or back up what I'm about to say, so take all of it with a grain of salt. But like, I feel like after, in the environment after the pandemic, people were maybe looking for more social opportunities, and so we've kind of seen a pivot in our event offerings to things like game night or just fun stuff. We occasionally do what we call the Great Puzzle Race, where you compete against other teams to put together a 500-piece puzzle as fast as you can.
That would stress me out.
It stressed me out hosting it, and then we had we had a group finish in like 25 minutes, and I was like, wow.
I'm not a huge. I think my attention span's not good enough to really get into puzzles. I enjoy them for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then I need to go do something else.
Yeah,
I like puzzles in other ways.
the attention to detail required is tough.
Yeah, and I think just sitting still for that long as well.
It's rough.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Book recommendations. What are some things out there? What would you recommend for people that are good books that maybe they haven't picked up, they should pick up, or they should pick up again?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to sidestep this question. So, like
I didn't warn you it was coming. So,
like I said earlier, we're kind of about letting people read whatever they desire to read. Like that's our commitment to intellectual freedom as a profession, but then also as your local library system. And so to sidestep that, I'm going to say you should read what you want, but use our website. Use us. Come in and talk to your library team, and just ask us what do you think would be good for me to read.
I think that's a great thing because I just turned 50, so I'm a little old. I'm feeling old lately, but I never thought of I can go ask the librarian for recommendations.
Yeah.
I really never. It just doesn't click, and I think we're so used to. Whether you remember the card catalogs or you sit down at the computer and search, I think we're so used to those processes that we don't think, oh yeah, there's an expert right there who's probably read a lot.
It's one of our favorite things to do because mostly we get to ask people questions like, what's the last thing you read that you really liked? Or what sorts of stories do you typically find yourself gravitating toward? And then we can kind of use that and use some tools that we have to kind of walk people through, like, here's how you find stuff that's maybe not 100% algorithm recommended, which can be kind of hit or miss if you're like me.
Right.
That maybe gives you a little more control and intentionality behind the different titles that you might be exposed to.
I wonder if some of my hesitant to ask too is I still have the teacher telling me not to talk in the library. Like I still hear that voice, like, shh.
Luckily, we're not that. So, we're a big part of our building was designed as co-working space, and so there is always going to be some level of noise in the library. Not to mention the espresso machine going off every so often. But
that's got to be bad temptation.
It's. I think when we opened this building, I ended up with a net pay decrease with all the coffee.
All the coffee you were going after.
We do definitely still have quiet space though. Like our meeting room space is quiet space. We've got a solution for you if you need quiet space for study, for reflection, for concentration. So I would encourage anybody that might be struggling with the space that way to come talk to us too.
Awesome. We got a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, we try to.
I'll tell you, my son, the last year or so, has his favorite thing at the library is finding old classic movies, which I had to go find a DVD player. I realized I didn't own that anymore.
Got to dig it out of the garage.
But he's loved it as he's into film and he loves movies. His thing has been to find old classic movies. Like he went through a phase of he watched old classic westerns for a while, just wanting to see what that was all about. I think that's kind of fun.
We have a little bit of everything. So if maybe you're like, what was Jack Nicholson up to in the earlier part of his career? You can come get Chinatown or something.
Those are good ones. Go watch those, folks. Go watch those. Well, as we wrap things up here, what anything else we need to know about what's happening at the library right now? What people need to go take advantage of?
I would just end by saying we've got something for everyone. Regardless of your needs or your background, we can offer you something that might inspire, empower, or connect you more broadly to the community or to information, knowledge, or resources. So come talk to us. Use our website. The website's a huge tool, we're great to talk to.
You can't miss them. The signs are in the biggest font ever known to mankind. Library.
We're proud. We scream it.
I love it. My son also likes to remind people that our neighbors to the north, Blue Springs, their library signs are not as big.
Yeah.
So, Lee Summit.
We've got some pretty nice signage here.
Hey, Seth, thanks so much for coming back on. It's been a few years since we've had you, so it was nice to catch up. Thanks for letting us know what's happening at the library system.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
That'll wrap us up for this week. We'll talk to everybody next time.